Share the link, share the link. I believe that I can be heard wherever you are watching from. I believe that you can be heard. You can be heard. I believe that you can be heard. Share the link. 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 I believe I can be heard. Share the link. Share the link. Wherever you are watching from, wherever you are listening, kindly share the link. My name is Prophet Nana Dennis Senior, and welcome to the Aura service. Share the link. Wherever you are, share the link. Share the link. Share the link. We are live on so many social media. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live on TikTok. We are live on MixLR. So any social media, any part you want to listen, you want to be part of today's service, make sure that you join. God bless you. God bless you. Kindly share the link wherever you are watching from. Kindly share the link. Share the link. There is something marvelous about to happen, so kindly share the link. Share the link. Share the link. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Instagram. We are live on YouTube. We are also live on TikTok. We are live on MixLR. So kindly make sure that you tune in. Today is our first time streaming live on Instagram, the Spirit Nation page. So you make sure that, I think a lot of people wouldn't be on the Instagram because most often everyone is either on TikTok or YouTube. So kindly share the link. Those who prefer TikTok, those who prefer Instagram, any other. So you make sure that you join our live service right now. God bless you. Kindly share the link. Kindly share the link. And I want you to write in the comment section wherever you are watching from. Wherever you are watching from, make sure that you write it in the comment section. Wherever you are watching from, you make sure that you write it in the comment section. So wherever you are watching from, kindly in the comment section write wherever you are watching from so that I can read it aloud. Kindly share the link if you are watching on Instagram, if you are watching on TikTok. Tell somebody that the prophet of God is live, and he's live on TikTok, he's live on Facebook, he's live on Instagram, and he's live on the MixLR and YouTube. Today, a lot is going to happen, so you make sure that any of our social media you join or you become a partaker of what the Lord is doing in this season. And I believe that your life will never be the same. Meet Kojo. Meet Kojo. Kindly share the link on TikTok. Kindly share the link on TikTok. Asante your mind. Kindly share the link. Kindly share the link. God bless you. Nashika on TikTok. Kindly share the link. Sandy, kindly share the link. We just came live. Yes, so kindly share the link. My brother is here, Prophet. My brother, Prophet Napoleon Manuel. Tomorrow is going to be marvelous. My prophet brother tomorrow is a big day. Yes, tomorrow is going to be a big day for my brother, and it's going to be wild. So wherever you are watching from, if you are watching from YouTube, leave in the comment section right now. In the comment section, I wouldn't be able to show those watching from TikTok and Instagram. I wouldn't be able to show those watching from all these areas on the screen. So I will just show all those watching and from YouTube and on Facebook. So kindly share the link. Kindly share the link. Kindly share the link. Kindly share the link. So we have Annabelle. Annabelle is watching from Accra. We have Emmanuel. Emmanuel is watching from Winneba. We have Tete Judith. Tete Judith is watching from Accra. Kindly in the comment section, kindly write in the comment section wherever you are watching from, so that I can acknowledge wherever you are watching from. Kindly in the comment section, either on Facebook or either on YouTube. I can only read that which is on Facebook and on YouTube. So you make sure that every single place you're watching from, you make sure that you put it in the comment section, and then I acknowledge your presence. So you make sure that. So this is Josephine. Josephine is watching from Accra, Ghana. Josephine is watching from YouTube from Accra, Ghana. And we have Joseph is watching from Winneba. Joseph is watching from Winneba. Joseph is watching from Winneba. And then we have Sandy is watching from the international land of Spintex. Sandy is watching from the international land of Spintex. And we have Nana Cyrus watching from the United States of Winneba. So keep your comments coming. Nana Cyrus is watching right from Facebook. And keep your comments coming. Keep your comments coming. Keep your comments coming as I read. I read. Whether you are watching on MixLR, I think on MixLR, let me go back to the MixLR to see if I can, yeah, and yes. So you make sure that you leave a comment, and then we have Frederick is watching from Agona Nkwanta. Frederick, God bless you, Frederick, watching from Agona Nkwanta. Keep on sharing the link. Tell your neighbor that the prophet is live for tonight, and tonight is going to be extraordinary because tomorrow is my covenant brother's birthday. So tonight is going to be wild. It's going to be wild. So you make sure that you leave your comment section wherever you are watching from. You make sure. So we have Savage. Savage is online. Savage is online. Nashika is online watching from Accra. We have Meet Kojo. Meet Kojo. God bless you, and you guys should keep sharing the link. I believe that tonight is going to be one of the nights that the Lord is going to show his face upon you. And I believe that tonight your life will never be the same. Already I'm seeing angels moving around this place. And I believe so that tonight is going to be prophetic and strategic. So wherever you are, you make sure that you do not sign off. You make sure that you are stable. You make sure that you are watching. You keep watching. You keep watching. Because anytime a prophet is in town, anytime there is a prophet in town, there is a revival. Anytime a prophet, hear me and hear me very well. I said, anytime a prophet is in town, it means there is a revival. Anytime a prophet is in town, it means there is a revival. Anytime you want to know a revival happening in your city, go look for a town that has been invaded by a prophet of God. Any town you want to know if there is a revival in a city, you make sure that you go and look for a city that a prophet just entered. You go and look for a city that a prophet just entered. So you make sure that you join us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and also MixLR. God richly bless you. God richly bless you. Today, the Lord told me to speak about several things, and one of the things that the Lord told me to handle was how to receive from a prophet, specifically me, because over the years, the Lord has shown me how a lot of people in my ministry, a lot of people around me are not able to receive from me, and a lot of people have not been able to contact that which the Lord has bestowed upon my life. So I'm going to talk about it. But before that, I would call Desmond to ask several questions. And I believe that by the time I am done, by the time everything goes on well, I believe that I would be done. And then I would also touch a little about wants me to what the Lord wants me to touch. So in a minute, let me call Prophet Desmond Asante. I just hope that he picks the call. Emmanuel will be coordinating for today because Melanie is not available. So I'll see if I would add Emmanuel to the call as time goes on. So I'm calling in Desmond Asante, Prophet Desmond Asante, to join us for today's service to ask questions. I believe that the Lord has entrusted a lot of questions to him, and I believe that he's going to bring us insight and he's going to bring us. Prophet Desmond Asante was not able to pick. I'm sure that he is in a place where there is a lot going on, and as we wait, I think he's not in a good place, or he's having an issue. So within a jiffy, okay, so he's not available. So let me call in Emmanuel, and then we go into the subject matter. So I'm doing the questions and answers just because I think that there are a lot of questions that most of you have, and there is a lot of confusion going on in most of you in your spirit. So most of you need answers to a lot of questions. This is the reason why in our services in recent time, I allow the panel ask questions so that at the end of the day I would answer. And I believe that the answer that would be given would be an answer to dissolve all the doubts in each one of you. So Emmanuel, welcome to the Aura service. You are live, and today the platform is yours. I would give you the opportunity for you to ask questions, and then I believe that people's life will never be the same again. So Emmanuel, you are live and we are listening.
Yes, thanks, Brother Dennis. Thank you very much for this opportunity and this privilege again to represent God's people and to ask certain questions and to receive from you, from the wells of and the depths of knowledge that you have to share with us tonight. Tonight I have two main questions.
Okay.
So I'll start with the first question. The first question has to do with something relating to two different schools of thought.
Okay.
There is the topic which some people argue about African Christianity, and some people argue that African Christianity is able to thrive only because of the alleged poverty-based environment that it is found in. And also, we also understand, even through some of your past teachings with us, and like being enlightened on the facts that going through certain scenarios or going through certain situations some difficulties are able to bring out a certain kind of beauty, a certain kind of pearl out of some people, just like with the oyster analogy you used. And the question is this: so using a billionaire's kid as a case study,
Using what?
Using, say, Elon Musk's child as a case study. Yeah. How a child like Elon Musk, Elon Musk's child would not have gone through most of the difficulties that the average, maybe African, has been through. And in this case, how can this beauty that we have been enlightened about, where the pearls, where certain pearls come out of certain people because of certain situations they have been able to go through and overcome, and with somebody like this who might not have found himself in such a scenario where he was always challenged, especially in the sense of comparing it to that of in the African sense, for example, as many people argue, how does it mean that a person like this is going to miss out on certain privileges, that he is not going to be able to produce certain pearls even in his Christian walk or in his Christian journey? Unless, or does it mean that he would also have to maybe say, throw away his belongings, like in the case of when Nicodemus asked Jesus Christ, for example, how would such a person be approached with the message of the gospel to enlighten him, or to such an individual, where even he can also go through certain experiences to also experience certain glories? This is the first question that I have.
Okay. Now, there is a lot that needs to be discussed through this question, right? It's a lot. Now, as a matter of fact, many people have different doctrines and many people have different things of addressing issue, and I've seen that a lot of people have come across a lot of things when it comes to Christianity and the African Christianity and the Western Christianity. But I wanted to be on record that Christianity started in Europe. Now, if you should understand the European civilization, you would come to understand that Christianity started in Europe and then it spreaded across, even beyond Europe. Now, when Christianity started in Europe, it became a faith. It became a faith to every single person and every single governmental plan, according to the archives or the history of Christianity. Now, if you come to Europe, you could see that their architectural differences even depict the faith of Christianity. Now, what am I saying? The overlooked riches and the overlooked, or the places that has the richest resources and all that, not even rich in resources, rich in economy, are Christian inclined. Or let me just use that, they were, or they used to be a Christian nation. Now, if you come to Europe, you would come to understand that even most of their holidays are Christian related. They are Christian related. They are faith based. One of the holidays is the Corpus Christi, which is celebrated widely in Europe. Now, there are several schools of thought, and there is school of honor, there is school of revelation, and there is school of kingdom administration. Listen to me. Now, each of them look at every single perspective per its standing point or per its dimension at which it looks at it. What am I saying? I taught you guys that the one who is standing in a room might only see things around the room. The one that is standing on the roof might only see things beyond the roof or around the roof. The one who is at the ground floor of the building has only visibility or has access to only things that can be seen. Now, in the school of thought, which under it is the school of honor. Now, the school of honor seeks expression of material and spiritual and covenantal belongings or covenantal blessings. Listen to me. The school of honor. The school of honor. Now, in the school of revelation, it is a school that assesses divine mysteries and revelation according to the school of thought. Now, look at this thing very well. We are moving to what Emmanuel is asking about. We have the school of kingdom administration, which looks at participation in divine purpose and establishment. Now, let me show you something. Now, when Christianity started in Europe, it started well. It spreaded across every country in the European vicinity or in the EU. Then it moved to America. Now, before it moved to America, it became a commercial in Europe. It became something which is known, and it became a way of life. It became a commercial. We know about many revivals that had happened in Europe. A lot of them that happened in Europe. Now, Christianity became a commercial or was made commercial in Europe. Now, this same Christianity went to America or the Americans, and it became a business. A lot of preachers started monetizing Christianity. It became a business. Then it sailed through and went to Africa. And when it got to Africa, we made it spiritual. What am I saying? Now, I taught each and every one of you about spiritual atmosphere of continents. So per every continent is per how every continent would contribute or would react towards a revolution or a revival. What am I saying? The spiritual nature of certain places would depict the practices of the people. Now, let me shock you with something. Many people think that Africans are naive or they are not serious or they are all about spirituality. But let me tell you something. Now, when you come to Europe and with the Americans, you would see that their way of food is not like the way of the Africans. An average white man in Europe would take bread and salad and eat it, and he's okay for the day. Then you travel afar off to Africa, and the person will eat tuwo zafi in the morning. In the afternoon, eat fufu. In the evening, eat plantain, yam chips, and gizzard. Then we have mid-evening, which is the bread and egg, chibum. And then the person in question does chibum and tea. So 4 times a day. And his body seems to react to each of the delicacies that he keeps consuming. And it does not do anything to him. Like the body accommodates the kind of food that it absorbs. Because, I don't want to go there. Now, okay, God, thank you. Because you see, the food he keeps consuming is from Africa. The food he keeps consuming is from where he comes from and where he lives. The food he keeps consuming, the cassava was planted in Africa and uprooted in Africa. And we know by Genesis that God took the sun of the earth, the dust of the earth, to create man. So the dust of the earth is the body. So now the person in question is eating a certain substance that the earth that it came from gave out as a harvest of food. So it is the earth that feeds itself. I don't know if most of you understand. Let me shock you with something. Then we go to whatever we are talking about. If I am an African, I live in Africa. I live in Winneba. I was born from Winneba. Spiritually, my body is connected to the sun of Winneba because it is the Winneba sun that God used to mold me, my body. Now, when God molded me, I was little. Everyone saw me like a little baby. I was being placed in their hand. Everyone could hold me because I was little. Yet I was a son. I was from the dust of the earth. Specifically, a portion of a land in Winneba. I want you, see, listen to me very well. Listen to me very well. I said, God, are these people ready? Okay. Now, look at the sun in Africa and look at the sun in Europe or any other place. Now, we see very well that the sun in Ghana is different from the sun in Europe. Howbeit, the sun in Europe is also dark in complexion. Now, this is where the trick is. This is where we begin to use science to interpret thereof. So we see very well that if a man who was born in Africa is from Africa and the sun is in Africa, and the sun was used to make such a man, and the man ended up to be a black man. And then you come to Europe and you see that although not all the sun over here are dark in complexion, because most of the sun here are red and dark. Now, some are even white. Now, let me show you something. Now, we see that when we come to Europe, the complexion of the people here are not black, but yet there is a black sun dominating here. But howbeit, we see that although there is a black sun over here, there is a mystery that comes on the black sun that makes the black sun covered. What am I saying? The mystery is that when it is winter time, we see a white substance, which is called a snow, come upon the darkness of the sun. Then it covers it. Then we see that if you see a land, a vast land there, although the vast land is dark beneath, but on top of it is as white as snow. This is the reason why we call the man who is living in Europe and beyond a white man. So even though the sun is black, but lo and behold, there is something that is upon that land that is beyond the dark sun. It has mixed with another interior material, which is snow, which is white. So you see that a lot of white, their hair, their skin is as pale as white. Now, look at something. Now, if I was born in Africa and I was born in Winneba and I was little, understand that. To many of you, you think that your parents gave you food. The only food that your parents were able to give to you was the breast milk. The moment you stop taking breast milk and you start eating food, the food does not come from your parents. Wherever the food comes from is where what I am about to tell you tonight. So open your ears. The food that you eat, you take in, that food comes from the earth. Because the earth knows that there was a little amount of hair that was taken to create you. So the earth understands the commerciality of business. He understands that if he sows, he's going to reap. If he should make the cassava multiply, he should make the maize multiply. In about 50 years' time, you would grow up. You would become big. You will become fat. You are going to die. And when you are buried, you will turn back to dust. But yet, it wouldn't be the same dust as it gave. The dust would be more than it gave. Hear me and hear me very well. So listen. We are going there. I'm trying to go to where Emmanuel, and then I will answer the question because the question is coming from here. Now, because it is the land that gave me my body, even as I was a child, and when I grew up, the land kept feeding the body to grow. 90% of my actions and inactions can be controlled by the land. Hear me, we are going to a place. I said 90% of my actions and inactions can be controlled by what? 90% of my actions and inactions can be controlled by the land. We are going to a place. I love this. If this is being said, you should come to understand that when it comes to this point, we understand that, look at me very well, we understand that it is that same earth which is in Winneba that alters my attitude and behavior. And it is that earth that aligns to the atmosphere. Because if we have the stratosphere, we have the atmosphere. If we have the atmosphere, we have the hydrosphere. Now, I want to show you something. We are going. I'm teaching you something I've never taught. So open your ears. We are learning, right? So just open your ears and then let's see how it goes. If we have the atmosphere, we have the hydrosphere, and we have the stratosphere. Now, the stratosphere is what you see as the lands. Now, a reflection of the atmosphere is the stratosphere. The reflection of the stratosphere is the atmosphere. Now, the hydrosphere plays around the atmosphere and then the stratosphere. Because when the hydrosphere is hiding behind the clouds, it passes through the atmosphere and it engages with the stratosphere. Now, we see that when the sun is scorching on the hydrosphere, which gathers on the stratosphere, there is a conversion where there is an evaporation. where the similar hydrosphere that comes upon, or the water or the rainwater that comes upon the surface of the earth, is being condensed and a sublime, and it enters back into the atmosphere. Look at something very well. We are going there. So now, so you could see that if it is so, the heavens in Africa has something to do with the land, because it communicates with the land and it has its own reflection with the land. So every activity of the people pertaining to their faith, every activity of the people pertaining to their object of worship, is being altered per the atmosphere and per the earth. The rudiment of the earth makes sure that it controls their attitude and their way of culture in the same way, or in a certain way that depicts the spiritual atmosphere of that place. What am I saying? The beings in Africa are different from the beings in Europe. The beings in Africa can only be overlooked or overseen by violence, by a lot of spiritual tools or a lot of spiritual invocation for it to surrender. Okay, what do I mean? Now, how many of you have ever used an iPhone in Ghana? And then you see that as you keep using the iPhone, sometimes the iPhone is going to give you a particular prompt. And the prompt is that the phone is too hot, that the temperature is high. But it is the same iPhone in Europe. But then in Europe, you would hardly see an iPhone that is giving you a caution that the iPhone is too hot, so you should stop using it, because the atmosphere here is cold. It is the same way that Christianity that was taken from Europe to Africa has been altered per the atmosphere at which it's entered. Everything given to each continent can be altered per the atmosphere and the stratosphere. So hear me. We are coming to a certain place. Now, let me show you something about when Christianity came to Africa. Now, when Christianity came to Africa, it came to Africa through missionaries, not the colonial masters. Hear me. I've heard a lot of trash going on the internet. I've seen a lot of naive people who do not have understanding, who do not know their left and right. I have seen a lot of them coming with a different theory that Christianity started in Europe and they came to Africa in such a manner to steal our gold, that Christianity came to Africa through the colonial masters. No. The idea of the missionaries were different from the colonial masters. Hear me. The idea of the missionaries were different from the colonial masters. The missionaries struggled their way out and came to Africa on the sole purpose of a mission. Hear me. On a mission to spread the gospel. They had nothing to do with colonialism. Most of them even slept in coffins to smuggle their way through to come to Africa to share the gospel. Now, when this missionary came, they came in the form of missionary. And when they came, they did not enslave our people. There is a difference between the slave trade and the missionaries. Now, let me take you back to political science and political studies and social studies. Now, let me show you something. Now, in Ghana, there is a popular event that took on in 1844, which is the bond of 1844, which was a bond between the British colonial representatives and the Fanti chiefs. Now, listen. It was considered as the beginning of the British rule in Ghana. Now, let me give you some details. Now, the date was March 6, 1844. I'm sure that most of you know the bond of 1844 already. Now, it took place in a place called Fomena in the central region. Now, it was around the time that there was the Fanti Confederation era, or the Fanti Confederacy. Yes, that's the English. Fanti Confederacy era. Now, look at what happened. Now, we see that the British were represented by one man, which was Captain George McLean. Now, Captain George McLean was not a missionarist. He was never a missionarist. He was never a missionarist. He came in as a colonialist or someone, a political leader in the quest of colonialism. Now, he met with Fanti chiefs, the Cape Coast chiefs, Anobabu Denchira, the Asen chiefs, and other chiefs. Now, when he came, he made them, they signed a bond. Listen. Let's forget the social state. They signed a bond, and this bond was the beginning of the British rule in Ghana. And it had nothing to do with the missionaries. When the missionaries came to spread the gospel. Look at this thing very well. When they came, the missionaries came to have a cover or an institution to establish Christianity through evangelism and conversion. Now, when they came, they established what we call the Basel Mission in Gold Coast, which was in Ghana. They established the Wesleyan Methodist Mission, which was established by one man called Thomas Birch Freeman in the 1830s. If you are a Methodist, you are familiar with that name, Thomas Birch Freeman. Thomas Birch Freeman in the 1830s. When they came, they also established the Church Missionary Society in Nigeria. Now, among all these things that they established, they also established education and civilization. Notice that the colonial masters, when they came, they did not bring into an introduction to Africa civilization. They came to the colonialists were different. They came to trade. They did barter trade. They did slavery, crimes. They did a lot of things. Missionary was not part of their agenda. They established schools. When the missionary came, they established schools. Now, let me show you something. Most of the schools that you see in Ghana, was birthed from this missionaries' works or the works of the missionaries. These schools, talking about St. Augustine's College, talking about Adisadel College. St. Augustine's College is a Catholic school which came out of the project and the handworks of the missionaries. Most of the schools in Ghana you see, it was because of the missionaries that entered Ghana. That is the reason why Ghana has most of these secondary schools and even the universities. Hear me and hear me very well. So they came in a quest to educate you, not to take from you. I said there is a difference between the colonialists and the missionaries. They established St. Augustine's College. Infante Pim School was a Methodist school. Infantine Girls, Wesley Girls, Adisadel College. Adisadel College is an Anglican school. Now, let me show you something. There is something I want to show you. Now, most of you do not know the history of Kwame Nkrumah. So let me teach you. Now, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, now let me read this. He was born in 1909 in Nkrofo in the western region of Gold Coast. Now, his early education was in a Catholic mission school, which was established by these missionaries. And then he was trained, listen, the one who came to give independence for your country was trained by Roman Catholic missionaries. He was trained by Roman Catholic missionaries. Now, look at something. In 1935, Nkrumah left Gold Coast for the United States. And do you know how he left? Do you know how he left? He left through church and educational networks. These missionaries that came, that you think they came to colonize Ghana, they came so that your first president in the First Republic of Ghana can have a pathway, go to the university, the Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, which was an institution with strong Presbyterian and missionary ties. So he used the route of this same missionary that many of you think they came to colonize. And let me show you. Do you know, are you aware of the course that Kwame Nkrumah went to study when he went to the Lincoln University in Pennsylvania? Let me show you. Are you aware that when he went to study theology and philosophy? When he went, he went to study theology and he went to study philosophy. The theology that the missionaries brought, he took it, went back to their country, and then he studied it. Just so he comes back to grant Ghana their self-independence. Now, all this being said, we have come to the establishment that Christianity in Africa is not a scam. It's not a colonialist move agenda, but rather a means of salvation, a means of self-independence. Because when the missionary came, they came to preach a gospel that says that you are set free. And as a man, you should be on your own. The preaching actually was against slave trade. The preaching of the gospel was against slave trade. It was against inhuman behaviors, like sacrificing humans to appease the gods. So most of you, if not for the gospel, they would have used your great-great-grandmothers as a sacrificial lamb. You wouldn't have existed, but you're online spewing nonsense when it comes to the gospel and the church. Now, we are getting there, so listen to me. So now, we see that the gospel in Africa was different because of the pain, because of the things that went on the land, and because of the afflictions of Africans. So the gospel that goes to America to prosper the people in America, because they are already set free, now goes to Africa and it's doing a different job. It is now delivering them because you cannot entrust prosperity in the hand of a slave. Hear me. Both their minds were enslaved. As I'm speaking to you now, most of the Africans that travel abroad, they still believe that they are slaves. So when they come abroad, instead of them to possess the land, they do minimal job, or they do, when you give them any other jobs, any little jobs, they want to do it. They still have the slave mentality. They still have white superiority, that the white man is superior than them. So most Africans need to be delivered by their mental capacity and mental whatever. So the gospel that goes to Africa must do a different job on the people. When the gospel is preached differently in Africa, it wouldn't be the gospel again, because the gospel is actually good news. So when the good news comes, it comes to liberate them. When the good news comes, it comes to put them in a specific realm. It comes to set them free. How can it come to a place in Europe where they are already set free and the gospel was already preached here and it started here? Hear me, hear me. Many of the European families that you see, most of them, their ancestries were wild senior evangelists who were on a missionary to Africa. So their families are rooted in deep Christian culture. But yet yours is rooted in deep worship of idols. So there is already bondage, or there is already a bond that has to be broken. There is already a bond, more than the bond of 1844, that needs to be broken. So when you meet an African child, there is a gospel you must preach to the African child, which is different from the child in the Western world. Because if you preach the same gospel, they are not going to understand. You would end up confusing every single thing. Hear me. The gospel is always different per geographical area. Don't let anyone lie to you. The gospel is different per geographical area. The gospel in Africa is different from the gospel in Europe and the gospel in even prophecies given in Africa is different from the prophecies given over here. You see, in Africa, you decree and declare that I decree and declare traveling doors are opening. Come here and decree and declare that travel doors are opening. Most of the whites, they don't want to travel. Why? Because what is in America is here. What do they need to see again? It's you that wants that. So there are certain prophetic words. God speaks to prophets in Africa, and it ends there. It ends there. And it will continue to end there. And it ends there because the prophecy is geographically picked. Hear me. I said there are certain prophecies. It is restricted to Africans. It is. If you tell oh God, let me skip that. Now, we had a camp in my church. Now, during the camp, we were praying for financial breakthrough. And there was a guy who was part of the camp, whose father is really wealthy. Whilst we were praying, the guy came out and chuckled. And then we questioned him why he came out. Because everyone was doing paya, praying for financial freedom. And he did not see the need of praying for financial freedom because he was financially free. And he worked out. So I came to understand that there is a gospel to the poor and there is a gospel for the rich. Don't let anyone lie to you. I said there is a gospel for the poor and there is a gospel for the rich. Now, we see the life of Jesus. Jesus came upon the surface of the earth. He was preaching. He was actually leading people to God. Have you noticed that anytime Jesus met anyone who was rich, he never spoke about certain things to them, including kingdom mysteries or financial breakthroughs or anything. We see very well that anytime Jesus met someone like Zacchaeus, he rather communed with them. The gospel was communion. Zacchaeus, come down. For today, I will eat with you. It was rather communion than communicating the gospel. Hear me. Hear me very well. If Spirit Nation want to capture the rich people like the son of Elon Musk, it can only be done when we preach a certain gospel to them inspired by the Holy Spirit, because it is the Holy Spirit that knows the need of a rich man. There are a lot of rich people. Don't think that anyone who is rich does not need a thing. Hear me. I said, don't ever in your life think that rich people do not need the gospel. There is a part or there is an aspect of the gospel that rich people need, that people do not know and they have not preached to them. This is the reason why we see them misbehaving. They have a need. Hear me. I met a rich man, and this rich man had a problem. And the problem was about his health. Now, let me show you something. Now, are you aware that when you meet a rich man and you begin to tell the rich man that God is going to bless you in a form of prophecy, the rich man will just laugh and brush the prophecy off? Because that's not what he needs. That's not his want. You are preaching a gospel that he does not need. You cannot pour water in someone's cup that the cup already contains water and it is full. You cannot. It's a useless and a baseless argument. You cannot. If you do that, you are just wasting your time. If you pour water, hear me, if you pour water in an already cup which is full of water, it is a useless activity. So the rich man is not going to hear your gospel because you are giving the gospel to the poor, to the rich man. I said there is a gospel to the poor. And until Christians comes to the knowledge of that gospel, we cannot capture the rich people to the church. You cannot. You see, Peter had an understanding of this. Ananias and Sapphira, they were rich. They sold pieces of land, their piece of land, and they gave it to the church. They were under the control of the church. Even their life, for them to live or die, was controlled by the early church. Hear me and hear me very well. Hear me and hear me very well. Oh, we have Blogger Bosa over here. Blogger Bosa is an amazing blogger. I love him so much. God bless you, Blogger Bosa. May the Lord lift you up and bring you into a level. In some few years to come, Blogger Bosa, the Lord is going to lift you up and you have no idea. The first time I saw you, I knew the Lord was up to something with you, and there is something coming to you, and that thing would define a certain level of blogging in Ghana. Mark my words. My name is Nana Senior, Blogger Bosa. You are watching me. The Lord is taking you to a specific height. You are going to meet a lot of influential men. They would fly you out of the country to blog their event. Blogger Bosa, write this thing down. My name is Prophet Nana Senior. You are watching. God bless you. We will talk later. So now, the gospel of the rich is different. So look through the Bible. Anytime Jesus met the rich men, he did not speak about certain gospels to them. You cannot meet a rich man and tell him that God is about to bless you. Which blessing again? He will laugh at you. He would laugh at you. Speak to the need of the rich man. There is always an emptiness in the hearts of rich people. Speak to them. This is where the matter of discernment comes in. This is where the matter of discernment comes in. Yes. So anytime you meet a rich person, it takes the Lord to discern. What is God wanting to? You see, many people think it is only the preaching of salvation that brings people to the love of Christ, or that causes people to be born again. No. You are mistaken. You are mistaken. Do you know that a prophet can come here and give a certain prophecy, and because of the prophecy, someone can be born again? It's not only salvation, the preaching of salvation, that makes someone to be born again. No. There is more than this. There is more than what you know. So there is a preaching of the gospel to the poor, and there is a preaching of the gospel to the rich. Like I said, you cannot give certain wealth to a slave until, you see, God is going to change Africa. Hear me. But before God would be able to do that, Africa has to be set free from mental slavery. We have been delivered from slave trade and slavery. The chains are being broken. Chains have been cut off. Africans have been delivered from slave trade, self-independent, except one thing, mental slavery. Until that is being broken, we cannot experience the full blessings of the Lord. The reason why you see in Europe and in America things are going on is that the people working all over there are not mentally slaved. If you doubt me, shift all the people in Africa to Germany and all the people in Germany to Ghana. You would be surprised that in some few years to come, or little time, Ghana will start looking like Germany, and Germany will start looking like Ghana. This is the reason why you see a lot of things happening in UK. That there has been an a lot of people have intruded UK. And now you see that UK is beginning to look like Africa. So it is not the country that makes the country, but it is the people of the country that makes the country. Hear me. I said it is not. I said, if you doubt, let there be a plane. Shift all the people in Germany, put all of them in a plane, move all of them to Ghana, and bring every Ghanaian to Germany. And then let them leave in some few years to come. You will see the place looking like Ghana. If you come to Germany, there is a place in Germany called Düsseldorf and Hamburg. You will see that a lot of Ghanaians are over there. If you are not careful, you might think you are in Ghana. I rest my case. I think I'm done for today because I'm tired. I'm done for today. It will surprise you. It will surprise you. Yes. Emmanuel, I believe that I have answered your question.
Yes, please, Papa. Completely answered.
Good. I would end today because I'm tired. And if you're watching me on TikTok, I pray for you. Follow the account. I'm sure that one of these days I would hold a prophetic session on TikTok. So you make sure you follow the TikTok account. I mostly don't like TikTok, but I'm here. So keep following the account. And if you are watching me and you're on TikTok, I pray for you. Now, the Lord is saying that I should pray for any of you that is believing the Lord for marriage. Now, hear me. If you are not married, you have been receiving disappointment pertaining to your marriage. You have been receiving delays pertaining to your marriage. Any man that comes seemingly goes. And it is traced back to your family, your mother's roots. Some of you, your father's roots. I pray for you. I decree and declare upon you that this year you shall marry. Now listen to me very well. I said I decree and declare upon your life that this year you shall marry. You shall not only marry, but you shall marry well. You shall not only marry, but you shall marry well. Your husband is going to control wealth, and your house is going to be peaceful. Not only for peace, but I pray for your womb, you woman watching me. I am praying for all the women watching me on TikTok. Hear me and hear me very well. I want you to add your faith to this. That God is going to bless you, even in your marriage, with twins. There is this beauty that comes with twins. It comes to a woman. There is this glory that comes to people who give birth to twins. Because what takes many people to birth forth in 3 years, you bring it out in 9 months, which are twins. I pray for you. You have been told that you are barren, but today I said join your faith with mine. I decree and declare upon your life that any barren womb would be open. Look at it, my God. Look at it. Barren wombs are being opened. Barren wombs are being opened. Barren wombs are being opened. I am seeing someone, and as I am prophesying, I am seeing that something that looks like a cemented wall is being placed upon your womb. But I come against it as a prophet of God. I come against it as a prophet of God. I decree and declare that it is broken. I decree and declare that the womb is being opened. It is being opened. It is being opened. It is being opened right now in the mighty name of Jesus. In the mighty name of Jesus. You are going to marry well. Your wedding will be a talk of town. Your husband is going to control wealth. You are about to give birth to twins, and your house is going to be peaceful. I decree and declare upon your life. If I be a servant of the Lord, and I know I am, I decree and declare right now, look at it. Look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it. In the mighty name of Jesus. In the mighty name of Jesus. Receive it. Receive it. All of a sudden, I am seeing 30 rings. 30 rings. 30 rings. 30 rings. 30 rings. And the angel said that it is your time. 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 Hear me, anyone believing the Lord for marriage, forward this live broadcast right now. Forward it, forward it, forward it, forward it. Tell your friends that I am praying for those who are, my God, my God, my God, my God. Look at it, look at it. Barriers are being broken. Look at it. I am seeing someone, and the person is applying for visa. You want to travel. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Look at it. Take your passport right now. If you are believing the Lord to travel, take your passport right now. Take your passport. I decree and declare that your passport, there is favor coming upon it. There is favor coming upon it. There is favor coming upon it. The Lord has done it for others. He shall do it for you. The Lord has done it for others. He shall do it for you. The Lord has done it for others. It shall be it for you. Now, hear me. Joseph said that you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Anyone that has suffered affliction as a result of some plan that has been planned against him by family, friends, acquaintances, close friends, close relationships, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, I decree and declare upon your life right now. Any hand that fights against you, any hand, my God, pots are being broken. Pots pots are being broken. I decree and declare right now, receive it, receive it, receive it, receive it. In the mighty name of Jesus, you are being set free. You are being set free. You are being set free. My God, my God, my God. I decree and declare that it is done. God bless you. My name is Prophet Nana Dennis Senior, and many people call me Seer. You make sure that you join our live services. We are on YouTube, on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, the Dennis Senior, the Dennis Senior. On YouTube, search Nana Dennis Senior. Subscribe. God bless you. Shalom. Make sure you give a powerful offering. God bless you. See you next week.